Hi guys, welcome back to At Home with Holly. My name's Holly and I am so glad that you're here with me today. So today my original plan was that we were going to be building step 2 of the rain barrel water collection system. We're going to be doing the PVC piping and getting that all fitted together, but a little bit of a pivot because it is almost 60 degrees, the sun is shining, and I don't want to be in the garage, I want to be outside. So instead today we're going to be pruning our raspberries and blackberries and fertilizing them and doing a little bit of garden cleanup with some perennials that have gone to mush. So I want to clean those up because they're starting to push some green growth, and I want to get the dead out and let the live stuff have room to groove and fertilize them. So we're going to be doing a little bit of outside cleanup. I'm so excited that you're here. Let's get started. All right, so I've got my bucket, I've got some pruners, and I've got some gloves. I'm going to grab some fertilizer, some berry tone fertilizer, and we'll be set to go. So every kind of blackberry or raspberry is different. The blackberry and raspberries that I have are similar in the way that you can actually prune them. So the raspberries that I have are the fall bearing golden raspberries. And so the blackberries that I have, these are the kind that on the first year at the end of their woody stalk, they grow a little set of flowers and berries at the end. Then the second year, if you trim off that little patch of flowers and berries, the second year you will get a whole bunch of new flowers and berries on the bottom of the wood. Then the third year they're done and you won't have anything. So I'm going through, and the ones that have some flowers at the end of them, I'm going to cut off the top of those so that all the energy goes to the bottom of the cane, which is the second year, and it'll push some new berries and flowers down there. And if it doesn't have the flowers on the top, that means it was its second year last year, third year this year, and it's not going to grow anything. So I'm just kind of going through, taking out all of the ones that this will be their third year, and I'm also pruning off the tops of the ones that this will be their second year. These blackberries are amazing. They are kind of a shorter variety, like a dwarf variety, I guess. And so they do stay smaller, more compact, and I have a little easier time wrangling them, which is wonderful. Then I'm also going to prune the raspberries next, and you may have either the everbearing or the fall bearing. Different kinds get pruned different ways. For the kind that I have, I'm going to just go ahead and mow them down this year. So the next two beds that we're going to do are the raspberries. And with the raspberries, you can either do the similar pruning style, or you can just mow them all the way down and you will get a larger fall crop. And so what I'm going to do today is mow them all the way down. Last year I didn't, so they would get more established. But this year I'm going to mow them all the way down and just get like a bumper crop in the fall. So we're going to go ahead and mow these 2 beds worth of raspberries down. So for these raspberries, like I said, these are fall or everbearing raspberries. So you would get, if you didn't mow them down, you would get berries at the end of the wood on the first year, and then you would also get lower berries in the fall on the bottom. So you would get 2 smaller crops, so it's more like you're getting a little bit of raspberries all the time. If you mow them all the way down, you won't get that June crop, but you will get, the stalks will start from nothing and they'll grow up, and you will get a larger crop at the end of the year in the fall. So since I like to preserve these, I'm not someone that likes to really snack on raspberries, but I do like seedless raspberry products, so I like to preserve them as jam in the fall. I like having a bumper crop in the fall where I can pick them all around the same time, get them all in the freezer and cleaned up and ready to go so I can preserve them. So I'm saying mow, but really I'm choosing to cut them all the way back down to the ground, to the crown, and then they're all going to push new growth at the same time. So they're all going to be coming into their fruiting season around the same time. So you don't have to do it that way. You can go through and be a little more selective, and only similar to how we did the blackberries, you can just choose to prune them underneath where they flowered, and you can kind of push for some new growth that way. I did that last year, and I did have 2 small crops essentially, and I think I do prefer, having done it both ways now, I think I do prefer to cut them or mow them all the way down to the to the soil level and let them all push new growth at the same time. So that's the way we're doing it this year. It just makes it a little easier for me to prune, and it also makes it easier for me to know when they're going to come into season. This is also the first year that I put straw on these beds to kind of act as a mulch and also to help prevent some of the weed growth. I don't know that it was my favorite thing to do, but so I gave it a shot this year. And then, so when I'm fertilizing this, I'm actually pushing the straw to the side and then actually going through with some fertilizer and fertilizing all the beds. And then while I was here, I decided to take the berry tone all the way down through all of my beds. So this whole side of my garden is the berries. So there are blueberry plants, there are grapes, there are currants, and there are blackberries, and there are raspberries. So I went ahead and used the berry tone on all of the plants on this side of the garden. Okay, so we got our blackberries pruned down. I actually went ahead and trimmed off some of the grape plants, and we got all the beds fertilized. So we got our first bed of raspberries fertilized, our second bed of raspberries fertilized, our second grape plant, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blueberry plants fertilized, and this grape plant as well. I did not fertilize the alpine strawberries that are on the front of these beds because I do have a new green stalk, one of the leaves, and I'm going to go ahead and transplant most of these into that green stalk once it gets as another outdoor spring project. We'll go ahead and handle that. So I'm not going to fertilize these because I'll fertilize them when I put them in their new green stalk with some compost. So I'm going to go ahead and fertilize these currant plants that I have here in the first bed, and then I'm going to go over to my 2 green stalks that currently have red strawberries in them, and I'm going to clean them up and fertilize them. So these are our strawberry plants that are in our green stalks, and they just need the dead leaves cleaned up, but they're all still alive, just waiting for warmer weather. So I'll go ahead and get these cleaned up. So we do get both of our green stalks trimmed up. We get all of the strawberries inside of them groomed up, and we get each little cell fertilized. I do realize that both of my green stalks are a little off balance because one of the lower levels is not lined up, and that's a pretty simple fix to get it lined up, except for when they are soaking wet and heavy, which they are on this day. So I'm going to wait a couple days for them to dry out a little bit more, and then I will go ahead and handle that so that I don't have to hurt my bag to take off wet, heavy levels. And as I was grooming this area around the green stalk, I was actually looking at my compost bins, and I love my geocompost bins, but I'm having some ideas on how to turn it into a 3-bay system that still has the airflow of the geo bins, but is a little more permanent now that I've decided where I want them. So I'll take you guys along with me for that. All right, so I was able to clean up around all of these daisies that had gone to mush. there's definitely a lot more cleanup to be done, but we still have some more cold weather. So the straw and stuff will still keep happening because it comes out of our egg boxes. So it is definitely laying season again, and we're excited for that. I need a basket. Anyway, I was able to get both of the strawberry towers cleaned up and fertilized. I just went ahead and put some berry tone on top of there. When it rains this next week, it'll kind of get worked in by itself. Pretty good start, but we still have a lot more work to do. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I want to also thank you guys for the likes and the comments and the shares. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We have a whole lot more growing and building and chicken projects and all kinds of fun things to do. Maybe when it's a little less windy too. So can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye, my friend.